What is up, wonderful video game nerds on the internet? My name is Josh. Thank you for being here for Bonus Stage. We are having a Let's Listen tonight for an inaugural video game music jam. And I am joined by Ian Martin, VRon Media, and Lucas Guimares, that is Graphics User Interface Mares.
Totally. That's exactly where it comes from.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you for being here. Yeah, this is like I said, kind of like a debut. We have a new video game music community that has formed around this idea. And if I don't have it mistaken, the idea is that it is a video game music jam. Everybody comes together to not only arrange but also to record and mix and prepare an entire album in a very short span of time. You've chosen 3 days. 3 days.
I would be very impressed at 3 minutes.
As would I. Oh man, there'd have to be quantum mechanics involved.
Maybe that'd be a fun competition, just see how many people we can get to make a track in like 3 hours or something.
Yeah.
3 hours is doable. 3 minutes, 3 minutes. It's just screaming Megalovania into a microphone or something.
Oops, all Megalovania.
Guys, quick, we don't have time. We just need to like send each other stems over Discord and then have someone plop it into an Audacity file and pray it exports these.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you can have rendering time outside of the 3 minutes. But no, you guys did manage to pull off a 13-track community collaborative album in 3 days. It is called Snow Stage, and the jam is called Speed Jammers. I don't know who wants to take the lead on this question, but I would love to hear the three of you talk a little bit about how this all started.
I'll let Ian go first, because I think he has the most history with the VGM Con jam.
Okay, so, the three of us were really involved in putting together the VGM Con album jam this year. I had been a participant before, but this is the first year that I had really been involved, and we worked together on that. And I think one of the main feedbacks from that is that everyone really liked it and really had a good time. But it was hard to do during the con, like both for, especially for in-person people, like, where you're going to record at the hotel. But even for the at-home online people like me, I'm preparing for my virtual set. I want to watch stuff. I want to participate in the con. So it was a little, the feedback was just maybe we could do something, that wasn't at the con time. And we wanted to do that. We also wanted to fill the void between VGM cons, because VGM Con is great, of course, but it only happens once a year. So, that was the idea, was to kind of have an event where there really wasn't anything else going on, that people could come together and make an album where we could say, okay, you have 3 days, and we know we're not competing with other things. We're not competing with other events or something for your attention, so you can really focus on doing that. And in fact, this time around, we actually got more participation from people, more tracks in the end, and I think that was kind of a large part of it. So in that sense, we really did, I feel succeed in our goal.
Yeah, absolutely. VRon or Lucas, anything that you wanted to add to that?
VRon, did you have anything first?
Yeah, I was going to say this is definitely the biggest album we've had so far from all the album jams. I think the first one had 6, and then volumes 2 and 3 each had 8. So 13 is not quite double, but it's more than half of an increase. So I'm glad to see it.
Also, all the tracks that got proposed all got finished, which marks the first time that happened, which is crazy.
Yes.
I'll add just a little bit of backstory. So I wasn't in the first. I didn't even know the first album jam. I didn't even know the first album jam was going on when it happens, and I only found out about it in post, and I'm like, oh, this is a really cool thing. And then the second time, I didn't even know that VGM Con was a thing. So during the second time, I participated in it, but it was the craziest weekend for me because I was also in a game jam, and then I was also my sister, one of my sisters had her first kid, so I was pretty much all over the place. And then before VGM Con came around, I talked to some other people, and Alan's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it this year," and I'm like, "Take over it." And then I also realized this was before I knew I was going to the convention, and I went to MagFest. And I was like, "Fuck, I need more of this in my life." Like a week after, I'm like, "Shit, I'm going to like." I even said to people directly at MagFest that I wasn't going to VGM Con, but just looking to save money. And then like a week after. So since I was going to be at the convention, I was like, how about I wrote some other people in who can like help manage it, like while they're at home, so we can all have an easier time. And it turned out to be a really good decision because I was actually locked out of my laptop at VGM Con, which was a totally great story of me Saturday running around trying to get everything I could for my laptop. But yeah, no, we ran it. It turned out to be mostly a success, and then we were just kind of sat down together and we're like, yeah, this would be cool to do more. And I think I'm not going to say too much else about the next VGM Con yet. We're waiting for the details on that album jam, but we are also going to be back helping with that. And yeah, it's super cool to have this event just not be an only once a year thing. People seem to really like the event. And so I enjoyed it a lot more. The not being like crazy busy, like either on or at home. It was a lot easier to just like take it all in and just be like, oh, so what is the saxophone part? And I have 1 hour to record it. Here we go.
Just hit the ground running. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh man, well that's awesome. And Ian, I don't know, I feel weird being the host and also a benefactor, but there is a greater purpose behind these album jams that you guys come up with, which is very honorable as well. I kind of love it.
Yeah, so we really wanted with this, VGM Con is a charity every year. And we thought for this that it would be cool to give to organizations that help out the VGM community, directly. So, of course, Bonus Stage was sort of an obvious pick, right? Because here you are, right? Like, you're here, you're hosting these album, listening parties. You've got more this week. Even so,
and the week after that, and the week before,
yeah, and the the music onlines, and then your in-person Vancouver stuff. So really, it's what we wanted to have at Speed Jammers is recognizing and helping out people who really do give themselves to the community, and don't really, I mean, you never ask for anything in return. I've always felt really bad every time you've hosted like a listening party or like featured me on Music Online. I'm always like, I wish there was something I could do to give back. So this is, I think a good way of recognizing, all that you do for us. As for us as VGM musicians. Of course, you yourself are, an accomplished VGM musician, as we saw at the last Bonus Stage Ultimate. So it was awesome set, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I can't wait to get that all uploaded and share that as well. But no, if you're trying to say thanks, Ian, it's a good start.
Yeah, I think I kind of like when I was initializing the concept behind this and wanted to get like everyone in a Discord server. The idea too was that it's more like it's a community, but it's only really a community that's going to be active when there's an actual jam going on. So it's kind of like a neutral site, which ended up being really cool because we had quite a few people from like different sectors of the VGM community all join in.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid mix of talent that you guys have.
VGM people working with VGM people to make a VGM album to get back into to give back to VGM. I don't know if we can get any more meta than that, but I'll certainly try.
Oh man, we'll need to. I need to get like a little counter app or something like that. I'll just count every time that VGM comes up tonight.
Yeah, right.
A lot.
Oh, man.
Don't play a drinking game at home, kids, unless if you don't have work tomorrow, but drink responsibly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, folks, if you are feeling generous, you can go on over to the Speedjammers Bandcamp. There they have their release Snow Stage. It is out now, available for purchase at $10 USD or more. And yeah, the funds all go towards me directly. They're going to go straight into my checking account on my credit card, and I'm going to buy lots of French fries. No, just kidding. Folks, we are a non-profit society, and any funds that we receive will just go into our operational costs, continuing to support the VGM community. There's the little tick. And yeah, just support those efforts. We do have lots of big plans for 2024, and your support all means a lot. Yeah, well, we got a lot of music to listen to. We have a lot of guests who are involved as well, who would love to be a part of the show and to talk about their tracks. So how do the three of you feel about bringing on our first few guests?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
Awesome.
go.
All right. Vector, you and Cool Dance, why don't you guys turn on your cameras? Let's see those lovely faces and hear your lovely voices, if you can still hear each other. Oh, man. Vector, Danch, how you guys doing tonight?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm doing good. We're about to listen to some cool tunes. We've had some surprise guests. Hold on a sec. We got oh my God, hold on. We got Theology who just showed up as well. Now he's a part of the scene. Wow, he's celebrating. Oh my God. Yeah. And sorry, just everybody who's watching now gets to know my process. Backstage, the person in that lovely red sweater, can you give me your name? Player 2. Oh, well then. Okay, we are definitely getting you on stream here as well. There we go. We got the whole party is here. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my God. Well, this first track on the album is a cover of Clapper's Canyon from Donkey Kong Country 2, and it features just about everybody that you're looking at here. we've got Cool Dance on the track. We got Vector U. We got Player 2. We got Theology. Note Block, who I believe is not here as well, is part of the track, but oh my God, I don't know. I've never
He's a fellow countryman, Josh.
Oh, there we go. I've never had to ask 4 different people to speak simultaneously on their influences for this track, so I'm just going to let you guys rock, paper, scissors it up and choose who's going to launch into talking about this track.
Come on, Vic.
Oh, hold on, Vic. We got no audio from you. What the heck?
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Oh,
Rookie mistake.
There we go. Oh man, I said Player 2 in Theology like 1,000 times. It was just muted. Oh God. Okay, yeah, I'll start it off. So this was basically my idea because somebody brought it up in my Discord, I think, that I should do this speed jam thing. And I was like, this sounds like a great idea. I want to try it out. I want to make, and then I asked because typically these things are instrumental, and I wanted to make sure we could do an EDM type of track, but make it winter themed, of course. And I was like, oh, I know EDM people. Let's just get everybody on this track. But I didn't want to totally ruin the vibe, so I kind of wanted to go with a little more chill, a little more synthwave of a type of thing. So we went with that, and I was in a Donkey Kong mood, just monkeying around. And so we went. I was like, "What's a Donkey Kong winter track?" And this is a great one, a classic, if you will. And yeah, I basically set up the foundation for a synthwave track, and I got the drums and the bass lined up and the stuff, and I let these wonderful musicians kind of just riff, do their thing. We've got Theology's insane bass drop, we've got AJ's fat beats and leads,
Let's go.
Denny's great solo, Cool Dance, great solo at the end, and of course the musical genius No Block.
Dude, his orchestration,
His
unbelievable.
orchestration is
So
just
good.
incredible. Next
Yeah,
level.
it made me cry. Like, I'm not kidding. It's so good.
So this was really like a kind of Avengers Assemble type of moment, and I think it's a great track. It should speak for itself. But you know, I can let you guys talk about your parts.
In case
Yeah,
it doesn't.
all I want to say is, Josh, can you guess where I made my bass drop?
Yeah. Theology has entered the chat.
Yeah.
You gonna make me guess like right now, or do you want me to like type it in chat?
I mean, or you can type it in chat. Live your life. You're a girl.
I will give a prediction. I'll be like, we've got 4 measures, folks. Theology's coming in. I know it.
Oh, that's not what I meant. Where I physically made it. Where did I do it?
Oh,
That's what I want you to
okay.
know.
I don't know. Like on
You'll
your
know
butt?
that it's me. It's very. I want you to guess where I made it because I commonly do things at this location. So
Right,
the drop is extra greasy. I will say.
Is that a hint? Oh my god!
it's a
Somebody like taps you on the shoulder, Matt. They're like, "Sir, this is a Denny's."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! No, that's all I have to say. Everyone did a great job. Holy crap! It's. I can't wait for you guys to hear this.
Sweet. Player 2.
I think the song speaks for itself. There's so many great musicians on here. Everybody has their own perfect part in it, and it's like a perfect mold of all of our styles together. And I think I love how Vic wanted it to be more of a slow synth wave because I'm more of a house head, so it's nice to be able to change and kind of make a genre that I'm not used to. Opens up my horizons to see how other people make music, and I think that's one of the best parts about what we do in VGM remixing is just being able to see how other people make music. And yeah, I love working with these guys and so excited with the outcome.
Nice. What about you, Danch?
Yeah, I was just excited. Like, I'm still like pretty new to the whole making like electronic music thing, and like these guys were kind of like my heroes going into VGM, and just to be able to like hop in and work with them, and them not be like, this guy sucks, and like kick me out and be like, we're making it without him. Like, that was like an awesome experience. But no, I love these guys, and the track came out awesome, and it's like they all said, it'll speak for itself. But I'm really excited about it. So.
Right on. I haven't seen a whole lot of like VGM DJ supergroups, so I'm trying to picture how like what the live presentation looks like. You know, like just you guys are all like fighting to control the decks or something like.
No, it's like an NSYNC scenario. We'll be
yes, dude.
Oh man, I just picture you like reaching down to like twist the knobs, but it's like a dance move. Yeah, okay.
That's gonna be us at MagFest.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Please give me footage of that. Yes. Well, we're gonna listen to the first 4 tracks on this album, folks. So yes, we are gonna open up with all these gentlemen's wonderful remix of Clapper's Canyon from Donkey Kong Country 2. After that, we're going to be listening to Snowed In, which is a Snowden Town cover from Undertale by Mel Decision. After that, we've got V-Ron Media, Ian Martin, covering a song from Cookie Run Kingdom. I've never even heard of that game, so I want to hear about that, you two. And then Giaco is covering Route 216 from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Pokemon Platinum as well. Yeah, does everybody here know the gimmick? Let's
listen.
Thanks, guys. God, that's beautiful. What a nice way to start this album. It feels like everything's kind of got like a pretty consistent vibe. I mean, Snow Stage, everybody knows what we're going for here, right? Yeah, Scrobot kind of said it nicely. This is a nice companion to Super VG Christmas Party. Yeah, that was 9 years ago. That is a legacy in terms of community albums and stuff like that. So very nice to be compared to that. But yeah, we heard from Cool Dance, Note Block, Player 2 Theology, and Vector U in A Snowbound Land. Lucas, by the way, your typing is very loud.
Oh, sorry.
Mel Decision with Snowed In. That's obviously a Snowden Town from Undertale cover. Viron Media, Ian Martin, When the Snow Feels Warm from Cookie Run Kingdom. And Giaco with Route 216 from the Pokemon Gen 4 games. Lucas, why don't we start with you for a little bit, because you did play a little bit of a part in that Snowden arrangement. What did you do, and how did it make you feel?
Thank you, and I think out of respect for everyone here, I'll be sure to type out my response.
Oh my God.
So I did alto sax and tenor sax for this track, and I was being careful. I probably committed to like one too many tracks, but it's okay. It worked out. Kind of one of the things I like about this event too is I feel like as the quality bar keeps getting pushed higher and higher in VGM, it's nice to have something where it's like, okay, I can just record, do the best possible, and then just call it good, have it shipped. But yeah, I was initially only planning on playing one sax, and I was like, hey, is it cool if I do like just one sax? And then Mel, she was like, yeah, sure. And then I was like, oh shoot, there's like no one else for the other part. I was like, do you want me to still do the other part? And she's like, if you can. So I just got up and recorded kind of there was definitely some speed running going on in recording, because the window of time I had was like good one. Because I had the window from like 4 p.m. to like 8 p.m. on Saturday, and I had like a little bit of time on Sunday, but that was like it. And I also had my own track to record for, and like several others. So but it was a fun track. I think it's pretty neat. It's definitely neat to see Mel continue. I worked with her on a track on the Final Fantasy VIII OC remix album as well, and it's really nice to work with her.
Right on. A lovely track, beautiful performance.
Pretty chill. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And then we had Viron and Ian, also joined by Nemo Fairlight, as credited in the video there. Okay, so what the heck is Cookie Run Kingdom? And who's played this game? Has anybody played this game?
I have not, surprisingly. Sometimes I find a game and then find the music, and then sometimes I find the music and then find the game. And this was an example of scenario number 2, to which one day it just popped up in my recommended on YouTube, so I listened to it, and then I went and found the rest of the soundtrack on Spotify, and I listened to it because I just really like the music.
Yeah, good music will sell a game, honestly. Like,
yeah,
I played some pretty shitty games that had great soundtracks, and they've kept me around. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a really pretty piece, and I wanted to do the mallet parts, but I've never worked with any vocalists, so I was like, Ian, please help. So I did the mallet parts, and then he did the vocal parts for the arranging process, that is. And then Nemo sang, and we had one other vocalist too on this track as well.
Nice. Uncredited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're credited at the end of the video, just not during the video.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll have to look that up again.
Emma.
Yeah, Emma. Thank you. I couldn't. Yes, Emma. Yeah. I was thinking of her Discord name and I couldn't pronounce it. I was like, I was not about to butcher it.
Yeah. No, it was a really pretty track. Very, very Silent Night, kind of like soothing choral, and all those different little pieces of percussion made a difference. I love your little toy piano. That thing is really cute. It looks like there's like toy pianos, and then there's like legit toy pianos.
Yeah, when I bought it, it was a baby grand, not toy piano. Oh. Of course, I call it a toy piano, but the item when I bought it, it was baby grand.
Oh, so. Did it shrink in the wash, or?
I haven't watched it. I'll have to find out. I'll put it in the watcher after this.
Oh my god! And then you got I don't even know how that scales. Oh man! And then we also had a lovely track from one of my favorite Pokemon generations, Route 216. Geo, why don't you join us here and tell us a little bit about your track? Hi, Geo. How's it going?
Hey. Well, I just recently played again the remake, the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl on Switch. And since it's winter time, I needed to arrange this track. I love it. And especially having Viron doing all of the twinkly bits that make it sound amazing. I just knew I had to make the intro longer, and I might as well just add like a breakdown section for all the instruments to play a bit. Yeah. I think that's basically the idea of the arrangement.
Oh, it's beautiful. But like, yeah, like that particular spot in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl is just like, it makes me feel like cozying up next to a fireplace, and the brass that you put on top of it is just serene, honestly.
Yeah, thanks. That's actually where the flugelhorn shines. It's just so mellow and so round in its sound. It's definitely made for winter snow jams, right?
Nice. How did you hear about this album jam? How did you hear about Speed Jammers?
I think it was through Viron, actually. If it wasn't through Viron, it was probably Game Grooves, one of the two. But I just
sorry, I shared it in my server. You may have seen it there.
Oh yeah, I think I saw it in your server, and I was like, okay, let's see if I'm free. And then they shared it again in Game Grooves, and by that time I was technically free. So I just joined, and it was amazing, especially because I tend to drag out my own deadlines a lot. So having this time slot of just 3 days of work and getting something out however I can, it's great.
Yeah, nothing like a deadline to really inspire you. Oh my gosh, awesome. Well, yeah, I think this is a solid submission. Were you able to contribute to any of the other tracks on the album?
Yes, I played in a track for Viron and another one for Lucas. So keep an eye out for that.
Nice. Looking forward to it.
Or an ear out.
Yeah, keep an ear out. Oh gosh, we've had 2 redemptions for Goofy time. Well, thank you very much for joining us here, Geo. We're gonna move along and talk to some of our other guests, but we'll see you in chat and later on in the show. Okay, folks, well, we've got another wonderful listening block coming up next. We're going to listen to 5 tracks. And here to talk about the first track, why don't we bring in Carrie and Ian to talk about their bi-score track. Ian, please turn on your camera and talk to us. Yuck.
Perfect, thank you.
How are you doing tonight, my friends?
Ian, this is your fault.
And Jares.
It's worth it. It was worth the 2,000 nuts.
I'm doing good.
It's been a great
chilly
time.
In Maryland.
I can't do
currently.
it. I can't do the good
try,
Ian.
Ian. By the way, folks, we have 2 Ian he hims here. Can you tell them apart? Point out 6 differences between these pictures. No, but you two also we have a track order here which puts Pokemon beside Pokemon, and we've got the Ice Path, which is a bit of a deep cut from the Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal era. Why don't you tell us maybe how you first got involved with Speed Jammers?
Sure. So I'm in all the VGM discords that all these other dorks are in. So I saw Ian Martin posting the link to this all over the place. So I was like, I have done the VGM Con album jam before. I didn't do it this year because, as you guys discussed, it's very difficult to do the album jam when you are at the convention in person. So I was at the convention in person this year, but I had done it last year, and I was on a bunch of the tracks on the, I guess it was volume 2, and I had tackled, arranging a track myself, and I found it really enjoyable. So this was the weekend after I had moved across the country in with Ian, and the U-Haul box with all my stuff in it wasn't going to get there for another week. So it was like, screw it, we don't really have anything else going on. Why not jump in on this speed jam weekend? But I've always enjoyed doing fast arrangements and sort of challenging myself to turn them around quick.
Well, 3 days sure is a record, it feels. Ian, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you chose the ice path from Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal?
Well, actually, it was Carrie who chose it.
I chose
Never
it.
mind. Fuck you, Ian. Tell us all about it, Carrie.
So Pokemon Gen 2 it's my far and away my favorite gen of Pokemon. Nothing else really comes close. And the baseline for Ice Path is one that always sort of stuck with me. It's a repeating like 2-bar riff for the entire time. And it's fun to play. It was fun to learn. It's a fun, quirky little tune that I don't think it's covered enough. Also, for as much as I love Pokemon, I haven't really extensively covered Pokemon yet. And this was the first time that I think I had done an arrangement of a Gen 2 song that like actually got put to tape. I had previously actually done an arrangement of National Park for Quick Save, and that never went anywhere. So this was nice to actually be able to do a Gen 2 piece for once.
Hell yeah. Well, Ian, do you feel like you have anything to say before we shut you out here for good?
Yeah, are you gonna kill me? What's going on?
I'm sorry, Goofy's getting a little. I'm gonna have to cut off the Goofy time. He's taking over.
I think Harry did a great job. I think Viron and Ian and Lucas did phenomenal work as well, and I like that I got to make it sound like my version of the Budos band doing a Pokemon Gen 2 track. So that's pretty sick. And it was killer. It was fun to do. And I just want to say, if anyone doesn't get the reference, I put on the lighting from the H Bomber Guy video. So for bi score, so it's also like bisexual lighting, but also for the keen eyes, this is also now plagiarist lighting.
Oh my god. Yes. If anybody has 4 hours and some alcohol to cure your depression, there's a new H Bomber Guy video out.
The other quick thing I do want to say about this track is that it does feature these 3 lovelies who ran this whole thing. So we had Lucas on sax, Viron on drums, and Mr. Ian Martin on keys. I went with an instrumentation that I realized after the fact I am inherently very familiar with from the last couple of years in a different band. But I also realized I really like the Hammond organ sound a little too much. So the final sound it's almost like Zombies-ish or Doors-ish. I sent it to my dad, whose high school band opened for the Doors. And I was like, I feel like you would like the vibe of this. And he was just like, yeah, but you should have played the bass with a pick. That was like his only feedback. Was that the bass needed more attack, so I should have played it with a pick.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. Well, thank you too for contributing this track and to the cause, Lots of love. Thank you very much. Yeah, we've got some more tracks to talk about, so we're gonna boot you the hell out of here, but we'll catch you on the show a little later. So thank you very much. See ya. Yeah, we got 5 tracks on this block, so yeah, by score. Lucas, your track is on afterwards, and that's the Frappe Bossa Land. Ooh, I love the take on this. We don't want to dig in too deep before we listen to this, but give us a little preview of what's coming up.
So everyone else, so for this album, when we were deciding the rules of what constituted as a snow song, you see, there were 3 kind of quadrants you could either cover a snow theme and make it like still kind of fit that vibe, You could cover something that isn't a snow theme and turn it into a snow theme. Or you could cover a snow theme and turn it into something that isn't a snow theme. And I think I am the only person on here who decided to do that last third one, where I took something that was a snow theme and was like, how far can I just go 180 with this in like 72 hours? And that is a pretty good preview without saying too much.
Nice. Okay. Well, then let's get into it. Folks, we're going to listen to By Score's Ice Path, Lucas Guimare's Frappe Bossaland, AC Lavender with Star Jump from Celeste, Joshua Iyer with Ice Cap Zone from Sonic 3, and Ear, an Emerald Hill or two, Emerald Hill Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So, let's
listen.
Hi all, I hope you're doing good. I'm AC Lavender and I'm ridiculously excited to be part of this project. I picked Star Jump from Celeste for my piece for a few reasons. I mean, firstly, the game's absolutely perfect for the winter. The Star Jump sequence of the game itself is really unforgettable for me. It's one of the most beautiful moments in such a beautiful game. Secondly, the soundtrack itself has been a massive influence on my practice. Lena Raine is such an incredible composer. I think rearranging one of her works really gave me a newfound appreciation for that. At this current moment, it's probably around 3 in the morning in my time zone, hence my absence, but I wanted to thank some people in particular without who this wouldn't have been possible. So first, a huge thanks to VGM Media. They mixed the finished product, which you'll hear, and for performing the glockenspiel. I also want to thank the other amazingly talented musicians who made this what it is. Walt Whistle's music on the clarinet, Shear's violin on the cello, and Joshua Ryer on the piano. Thank you all for helping realise my arrangement. And finally, thanks to Ian for organising this amazing project. Thank you all for listening, and hopefully I'll catch you all soon.
Wow. Yeah, this album is going great. I love all of the tracks on it. I can't like pick one and be like, no, I hate that track. No, they're all really good. We are joined now by someone with an amazing name, Joshua Iyer. Joshua, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How about you, Josh?
I'm doing good. Yes, good name. Good name to
Yes.
have. Oh man. Yeah, you submitted the Ice Cap Zone arrangement. I love that nice, like, chill take on that. Everyone's used to like Michael Jackson and that upbeat. Or no, it's not Michael Jackson. Who is it actually? It was like some other '80s, like
the Jetsons.
The Jetsons.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. But you also contributed to some of the other tracks. I believe AC Lavender in his video complimented you on your submissions to that. But yeah, why don't you just tell us how you got started with Speed Jammers?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was through VRon. I think she told me about it in the Discord. Yeah, she's the link to everything. But yeah, and then I'm like, yeah, I think I'm free this weekend. I can, and I did VGM Con in the spring, and I loved it so much. Just like everyone else is saying, just being able to sit down and record a track and just do it real quick, and then record for everyone else and arrange something and then put it all together and get something out like super fast. It's like super exciting, and it's just a great community event and everything.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, I maybe I'll participate in the next one, but I felt like maybe I shouldn't. I'm already like bonus stage is the benefactor for this. I shouldn't dip my toes in just yet. But yeah, were you kind of like immediately determined to do Ice Cap Zone, or how did you pick that?
Yeah.
Song?
That's a good question. I'm in another Discord server, and I was like, oh, anyone have any suggestions for winter themed tracks I might do this thing for? And then someone suggested Ice Cap Zone. Someone suggested like something from World of Warcraft or something. I'm like, all right, I'll do Ice Cap. So I just kind of picked it. Then I listened to it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. This is the one that was like really good from this game. And I'm like, all right, and I'll just put this together, and then yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Why not?
Like, what made you want to like take it down tempo like that and just kind of reimagine?
Yeah. Well, I guess I was kind of thinking of like, I'm a classically trained musician. I was kind of thinking of like Vivaldi Winter a little bit with like the kind of effects, in the strings. And then it just kind of ended up like, all right, I guess this is it's a slow piece, like that opening movement of Vivaldi's Winter. And I'm like, all right, I guess that's the tempo it has to be. And then like Ian kind of came on with like the drums that like, I was kind of hesitant about using any percussion, but then I was not hesitant. I didn't have any ideas for it. And then he's like, I'll improvise on this. And he put this together. And I'm like, yeah, with the, that. And I was like, this is great. And so I fit it together as it worked. And then like Lucas came like right at the last minute to put together this saxophone thing. Cause I realized, wait, I think someone else is going to do the saxophone part. And then I never got it. And then I'm like, oh wait, I should probably get a saxophone part so I can mix this thing. And then Lucas was like the legend came on to like help me put this together. So, and then it kind of helped turn it all into like that slow take.
Oh man, Lucas coming in clutch yet again on this album. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I really love your take on Ice Cap Zone. I haven't heard one like it, so well done, and thanks for contributing to this album.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Awesome. We're going to talk to some of the other guests, but we'll catch you later on in the show. Thanks for coming on, Joshua Iyer. Oh, man. Yeah, it was nice that that AC Lavender was able to submit that little video outlining their work on that track that they did for Celeste. I love that soundtrack. That's absolutely beautiful. And then we got to hear also an Emerald Hill or two. An Emerald Hill 4-2, which is very romantic. That's sweet. I love just like the many ways that we have heard people reimagine some of these video game music songs. Like you said, Lucas, just kind of like trying to mix it up and make something that is ice themed a little bit, not ice themed, something that is not ice themed, and giving it that Christmas twist, as it were. In terms of ears arrangement for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Yeah, and before we just steamroll past it all together, Lucas, I do think we need to credit you as well for the album art. Yeah.
I guess my track was my track was fun. It was, I was thinking if there was anything else to say about my track, but I'm like, I kind of pitched it as described. Thank you for the shout out for the album art. I had a lot of fun. Making it. It was a lot of more. Usually I do a lot more like paintings and drawings, but this one was a lot more like image editing and like. It was really fun. I was glad to make it. I've been wanting to do more album art for like both my own stuff and like maybe for other community stuff. So this was nice to finally dip my toes into it. And that's kind of the also because of like the time we had, we kind of did as much as we could in house. Like Ian did all the mastering. Actually, shout out to Ian for that as well. Not all of there's one track that wasn't mastered by him, the first track, but yeah, shout outs to him for that.
Yeah, that's a huge job. when there's so many different styles coming together on one album, and to make that all sound cohesive, like major props, Ian.
Thanks.
There's a lot of overhead we have to like kind of commit to when doing these events. I still remember like the months and months before, which was like not always the most fun part of an event, and like host being here for this listening party, seeing the release, and seeing the actual event itself is such a different experience than just the pre-dread initially of like time to set everything up, time to get this art on, but makes me super glad we did it all.
Yeah, and then you save on stuff like not outsourcing it either, and
Yeah,
people who might not
definitely.
be as committed to the concept as the three of you clearly are.
we are very committed. We are very much looking forward. I can't tell you enough how much I'm looking forward to the next jam.
Yeah, next speed jam.
Next speed jam.
Right on. Well, before we get to the next speed jam, we're still gonna listen to this one. We've just got 4 more tracks on this album. We are going to be listening to Viron Media's Pelican Town from Stardew Valley. Love it. Ian Martin's Winter Winds from Chained Echoes. I know you love that soundtrack, as well as the next track from Romancing Saga 3, the Podorui, or Podol, I guess it's an anglicization. And then Nemo Fairlight is gonna polish off this album with their arrangement of Main Menu from Age of Empires 2: The Conquerors. Oh man, what a bunch of VGM. Viron, do you have anything that you would like to prepare us with for your Pelican Town arrangement?
Yeah, so I've actually done a bunch of Stardew Valley arrangements this year featuring Joshua, who was also on this album. And I'll talk more about that at the end. I don't want to plug myself right now, but I just finished the Stardew Valley album, so the soundtrack was fresh in my mind. And I was like, well, I've already covered all 3 of the winter themes from Stardew Valley, so what's left for me to do on this album? So I know, I'll just take Pelican Town, which has the same theme for all 4 seasons, and I'll make it a winter version. So that's what I did. And I got to include my dad on it, so that's always fun.
Yes, great. Yes, there's a video for this one, so we'll get to see him, and as well as all of your other collaborators. And then 2 Ian Martin tracks back to back, featuring your 2 favorite RPGs of all time, Chained Echoes and Romancing Saga. Ian, what do you got to say for yourself?
Well, kind of following up with what Viron said, I got to include my dad on the Chained Echoes track, so that was fun. We still have to get our dads on the same track sometime, but at least they're finally on the same album. So there you go.
2 dads. Dads.
VGM dads.
Oh no, am I gonna need to get my dad in on a track now?
Yes.
Oh no, yeah. This is gonna happen.
But yeah, I mean, I think you said it right. I'm the I love Chained Echoes. I love the Romancing Saga series. I think that Eddie Marianukro, who's the composer of Chained Echoes, and Kenji Ito, who's the composer of the Romancing Saga series, are both they are deserving of so much more recognition. There are so many possibilities with all of those soundtracks, and especially Chained Echoes. I haven't been that excited about a game soundtrack since Final Fantasy X. So,
dang,
there's so many possibilities. So, yeah, if you don't know the Chained Echoes soundtrack, go buy it. You'll be doing yourself
just wait
a favor.
for Ian to cover it in its entirety.
Yeah, I'll, in the next 10 years, I'll probably get through the whole thing. The game is also excellent too, which is just a good thing to have.
Nice. Nemo Fairlight also submitted an audio clip to introduce her track, and so we will let her do that. But otherwise, let's
listen.
Hey everyone, it's Nemo. I did the Age of Empires main menu track. I think it's one of the only ones, one of a few, I guess, on the album that doesn't really have a winter theme going on for the title. It's just main menu from Age of Empires. But for me, it has some winter value because it has some memories associated with wintertime. So a bit of history. Sorry, I won't take too long. My brother introduced me to this game basically when it came out, so I've been playing it since 1999. And I mean, now that we're grown and live on opposite sides of the continent, I don't see my brother too much anymore. But growing up, we would always have my cousin over, and like all of us would get together and have these huge LAN parties where we would just play Age of Empires, like for Christmas and New Year's. And so we've kept that tradition up, just my brother and I, and it's kind of nice because it's just how we catch up nowadays. But yeah, okay, anyway, I'm digressing. So yeah, this one I had, well, like everyone else, not enough time to arrange it. But I normally do symphonic metal, so it was actually really hard for me to tone it down. And yeah, I think this is one of the simplest, and by that I mean least instruments, arrangements that I've done. But I'm so grateful to everyone that joined me on this track, and I hope you enjoy it.
Wow, that's yeah, that's the album. That's Speed Jammer's Snow Stage, everybody. Holy shit. Go and buy it right now. It's a fundraising album. And the person who benefits immediately is me. I'm going to buy a bunch of french fries. No, just kidding. We're going to put that towards the arts, towards the VGM artists and such. But yeah, incredible album. Thank you to everybody who's taken part of this. 13 beautiful tracks, lots of collaboration, lots of new friendships, I hope. Ian, Viron, Lucas, you three, thank you very much for taking this charge on and creating a new space for the VGM community to express themselves and to contribute to a great cause.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're happy to do it, you know? I feel like there, you know, other than the VGM Con album jam, there wasn't really like a regular album jam space for people to really do this sort of thing. So, you know, I think we're all happy to to provide that outlet for people.
And I want to say too, thank you, Josh, for always hosting the listening parties. We were glad to support this to you.
Yeah, thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Fuck, I had something to say, but I forgot.
Type it out.
No, Jesus, everyone will hear my keys. No, I remember. Yeah, I think it's really important to have these events too, because like for now, there's only, I say it like it's a small amount, there's only 3 like in-person VGM conventions, and then there's still like streams that, you know, Bonus Stage does a lot of events, but it's nice to get some other events going in the community, especially during the more kind of slow seasons, if you will. So it's also nice for people that are like international or like somewhere else, or it's like hard for them to fly out that year. So it was really nice to do this. Really happy to see the reception to it.
Yeah. And also big thank you to like all the musicians who participated, anyone who arranged, who played on a track. Like, I mean, obviously this album wouldn't exist without any of you. So
incredibly thank you to every single person on this. I'll just go through the arrangers real quick right now. Thank you, Cool Dance, Note Block, Player 2, Theology, Vector U, Mel Decision, Gecko, By Score, which includes Carrie and Ian, AC Lavender, Joshua Iyer, Ear, and Nemo Fairlight, which is, wow, that is like more, that is a lot of arrangers. We really appreciate it. We know it is asking a lot to do a track in 72 hours, but
yeah,
incredible.
Quite a feat. And for you 3 as well. I think you failed to credit yourselves, Lucas. But yes, Ian Martin, V-Ron Media, and Lucas, graphics user interface Mares.
I did do the graphics this time, so I'll allow it.
There we go.
Yeah. This was really thank you to just some other quick thank you shout outs. I want to shout out the VGM Con team for being supportive of us doing this as a kind of like standalone thing, and for having us back in the future and letting us host the VGM Con jam this year, which I also think turned out really good. At VGM Con we did the first track ever that was for an album jam that was all live at VGM Con, which was cool. Really silly but really cool. I want to thank specifically James Hazelwood, I think, I want to thank him because he mostly comes on for when we have the VGM Con charity album specifically, but for helping with this. And I would also like to thank Alan for helping with the Bandcamp licensing and just like helping with any like licensing stuff and any other questions we had.
As well as marketing.
Yeah, marketing.
Yeah, marketing.
Oh
yeah.
Man, his push really in like the Game Groove server really helped. It helped so much that I had to like explain. Like some people thought like they're like, is this a Game Groove specific event? And I'm like, not really. It's kind of more a neutral site thing. Like we have a lot of groovies, but yeah, lots of people that came in together to make this a reality, and I was kind of blown away listening to it.
Yeah, a strong start to what I hope is going to be many speed jams to follow. On that subject, I mean, obviously, yes, you are soft planning to do something for VGM Con, but what is going to be, or where should people look for news on the next speed jam?
Our Discord server is currently the best spot. We're still figuring out social media. Oops. But really, yeah, our Discord is the best spot if someone would like to link that in the chat. Usually, like, we're pretty, we're not one of those servers that will, like, we will ping you when we have news of another event. Like, unless if there's another reason that's really good for us to ping, that is, like, the sole thing at the server. So when we have events, and we'll try to we kept this one announced I think about a little like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the event, and we try to give at least a month of overhead. So yeah, we're really excited for the next events.
Right on. Oh,
Yeah.
I see people are starting to flock to your server already. That's always a good
Awesome.
sign.
Good.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for plugging it.
And I just want to say, if you want to participate in one of these, like, please do not feel shy to. I cannot express how much, like, the first time I did this, how, like, scared I was doing it. I was even like scared of butchering sax parts for people because I'm like, oh, I'm good, but I'm not like that good. And I just like went in, and hell, VRON don't do 11 tracks.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have another percussionist next time.
I'm going to like bribe Sean to stay at his house no matter what I have to do.
Oh man, imposter syndrome is always strong. Yeah,
it is. This is a nice way to help get over that for sure.
Yeah, I know I played on 10 tracks. I think Sable Providence, the flute player, played on a ton of tracks too.
Yeah, he also went all out.
That was nuts. How many was he on? Like 8?
Yeah, he's probably not awake for this.
Speaking of international participation, you know.
So Sable's wonderful.
Yeah, something you wouldn't get from like an in-person event.
Definitely.
Right, yeah. Take that, VGM Con.
No, I mean Sable was on those too, so there you go.
I think you meant like the actual event. The actual.
I know.
And speaking of the actual event will be this year. It is summer themed at VGM Con, and it will be on 420 weekend this year.
So like the opposite of Snow Stage, basically.
Pretty much.
Which we were talking, and we don't think they had announced the summer theme yet when we chose the winter theme. So it worked out perfectly.
We will have news about that and news about future album jams soon. TM.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, folks, go follow that Discord server if you'd like to keep up for now. And before we log off, I will say that speaking of Alan, we're going to have him on in 2 days for the next Game Grooves album listening party, which is going to be a what? Hold on. What are we listening to? Where's Alan? It's going to be the Wind Waker.
The Wind Waker surf album, yeah.
It's going to be King of Rad Lions, a surf rock tribute to Wind Waker, and also Ian and I are on it because when are we not on a Game Grooves album?
Oh, thanks for doing my job for me, Lucas. That's nice. When? That is going to be Thursday. That is in 2 days, Darmok. 2 sleeps, and you will have some new Game Grooves to listen to here on Bonus Stage and also just on Game Grooves. And we've got a couple more listening parties coming up next week. But folks, that is going to wrap up our show for tonight. We're going to bring on the rest of the gang here for a nice little Brady Bunch farewell. We've got Gio, we've got Ian, we've got Carrie, we've got Joshua Iyer. And we lost some along the way, but everybody who participated in this incredible album, thank you. Welcome. Oh my God. So thanks for being here for Let's Listen, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.